at the end of my studies, one of my friends told me like, hey, have you heard about Impact Hub? And then I said, no, let me Google it. I Google it, and then I end up in the website. I just read a few sentences. I'm like, wow. Amazing. Oh my God, I want to be part of some place like this. And actually, so what I did, I just created a small presentation of like who I am, what can I do, my vision for my future career, and how the vision of Impact Hub align with my own vision for my life. Just like a very interesting, funny, original presentation. I spent like maybe 1 hour collecting all the email address of all the Impact Hubs, people running Impact Hub around the world, and then I just sent like the same message to everyone. I sent one by one, and then I went to sleep. And then the next day, I wake up, and then I receive an email from Impact Hub Phnom Penh. I'm like, where is Phnom Penh? Where did I send it? And then, they were like, let's have an interview. And so, okay. Then I do the interview. I say, so we just started. We don't really have a lot of money. So could you come and volunteer? Do you think, you can come maybe in 3 weeks? I'm like, huh? So basically, now I just have a job offer. Like it's real. Like they want me to come over. I'm like, wow, oh my God. So I talked to my parents, should I go to Cambodia for like not paid and just like go there? And I was like, maybe if I stay in Paris and I get an internship, I will pay just exactly the amount to cover my rent. I will still need to pay maybe $400 from my own pocket for the food and everything. Well, if I go to Cambodia, I might spend only $300 or $400 on accommodation, food, and everything. And maybe I'm going to have a much better experience if I go to Cambodia than if I stay in Paris. So, let's go! So I just went there and went here. And then I arrived and loved it. I found it very, I would say my first impression was just like, okay, I have no clue about Asia. I have no clue really about also entrepreneurship, to be honest. So let's be an observer, a listener, a story collector, and just learn by observing. And I just spent a lot of my time observing, seeing also how the co-founder of Impact Hub were running, how they were managing the company, learn everything. I was another school. And then I had to do my thesis also on before I graduated, and I decided to do it on the emerging entrepreneurial ecosystem of Cambodia. And this is when I realized that there is no paper about it. There is not so much really thing existing. So I start interviewing the first the founder of Small World, Riti, who was really the pioneer of the ecosystem back in 2011. Okay, what does entrepreneurship look like in Cambodia? Who are these entrepreneurs? And then seeing the first entrepreneur we were supporting at Impact Hub, and soon realizing all these structural barriers that entrepreneurs in Cambodia have, the non-access to all these big international crowdfunding platform, because Stripe doesn't allow Cambodian bank account to receive money, how hard it was for them to make their family understand what they were doing, how hard it was to find the right team members to join the team, because no one really understands what this job is, and how hard is it to convince people to work for free at the beginning, to believe in something bigger than yourself, and to ultimately start validating the business and start generating revenue. So I realized all this hardship, and I was these are double heroes for me. they are like already like starting up a business is super hard, but like when you do it in such a context, like where no one believe in you, no one is like building any like structure to support you, like, oh my god. It's super interesting. And like, so then it always have been like, the question have always been like, okay, how can we make this entrepreneur journey smoother, less painful for them? And so I think, yeah, this I discovered the role of an incubator, and yeah, and it's such a so beautiful to see that, yeah, with some advice, with some methodology, you can like help shape a business, build the confidence of the entrepreneur. And I think the most important thing is like being here for them to believe in themselves when no one else believes in them.
Oh.
And I say like, always my approach have been like, we will be here for you to support you, to tell you you can do it, until the market tell you doesn't work. But it should not be us who tell you it doesn't work. Maybe like our goal is to help you understand the market the fastest possible, to produce the fastest possible your first like minimum viable product, so that finally the market tell you like we want it or we don't want it. So yeah, our goal over the years has always been like, okay, going from an idea to a prototype the fastest possible, getting the first like product out, like getting the first like feedbacks out, first like you understanding as quick as possible deeply about the problems that you are solving, and then like not spending too much time into planning what the future will look like, but just like doing, improving, doing, improving, doing, improving. And yeah, like it had not have been easy for so many of them, but those who stay here and remain are like the ones that they found the market.
Nice. Do you, first of all, I really like your approach when you were pitching yourself. You actually started with what you can do, right? So you actually want the people to, instead of just starting with why, you know, these organizations can help you. I think a lot of people, when they approach big organizations, they say, oh, because of my career growth, I really need this opportunity. But you actually change the sequence. You started with what you can do for this organizations. So I think that's pretty amazing. And then so you came here and joined Impata Phnom Penh, first time ever, know the place, the city and everything. So do you remember your first big responsibility or assignment? Then you're like, and how do you feel about it? What's the story?
Yes, but just before, I just want to do a parenthesis on like choosing a job. Because I think it's like I really want to highlight this thing that I think like a lot of the time, like people think that they should go where people want them. But is also, I think, like the power dynamic of like having an employer telling you, okay, I accept you. And then you're like, okay, so accept me, so I have to go there. I don't really like it. I feel like it should be you really choose wherever you want to go. Because like one of the things that Ticket for Change keep on saying is that we spend 80,000 hours of our life working. What do you want to do out of it? And yeah, like if your daily job can become meaningful, like why choosing something meaningless and waiting for the weekend and the evening to do something meaningful? So first I was like, oh my God, sure I do something, but I'm happy to go every day. Like there is so many jobs in the world, so just go for it. And one thing that what changed my mind also is that like one of the career counselor in my school, they were asking us, what are the top dream places you dream to work for and with, where like without like forget all the constraints, but like forget about money, location, like thing you can't do it or anything, like no connection or anything. Just forget about all of this and just make the list of your top dream, craziest places, company you really, 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 really want to go. And I think like when you ask yourself this question, you start like thinking very wide, and then everyone had a big smile on their face, like thinking about, oh my God, I could do this, like, and I'm like, yeah, that's it. Like me, I never knew anyone working at Impact Hub. I just like went on the website collecting all the information, and then after the next step is like showing this company that these are your dream company of your life. And when actually someone apply to you, like to your company and say like, you are my dream company, this is what I can do for you, I want to be part of your story, like I want to be part of your future goal, I see myself in your value and everything, like a company will for sure not be indifferent to what you tell them, and especially small company, I would say, like. So advice to anyone listening to us, just make this top list of a 10 company, and even if it's like taking care of orangutan in a island in Java, if it's your dream, just type orangutan Java island, you will find an organization who take care of it. Just message them, send them a video about you dreaming to do this, and like do things to show your motivation, and you might get it. And say you can come and volunteer, and then they have no risk to do and then to take, and then if it works, then it's the best for your life. And especially at such a young age, we have no pressure, like you are only alone, and better even if you're single. So yeah, this, I think this mindset is really important to have.